Guys, it's Thursday, September 25th. Guess what? Tonight, more football. They've got some really good games going on. Thursday night football. Man, when that stuff first started, those games sucked. I mean, that's where they put, teams that don't ever get really on national TV, and I get that. But when you put them both together, even though it's football, it's kind of like going to prom with your sister. It just doesn't, it almost doesn't count because ain't nobody watching that. But, I mean, they've got some killer games going on, and we'll talk about that later in a different video. This video, it's 4 o'clock p.m. I'm going to answer just a few questions. So you guys have watched the, and I'm mainly talking to you guys that have watched the journey here. And so you're asking me, what is, do I have a daily setup? What am I wearing? So pretty much, guys, the 3.2 millimeter Figaro just stays on. It's a 22 inch, it's 18 karat gold. Of course, I wear my earrings, never take them out. I have my wedding ring and then an heirloom, right? And so always have a watch. The Datejust is, this one I actually got from an AD, so it means a lot to me. Reminds me of my mom, just, different things. Because she'd always say, oh, that's cowboy color, so anything she'd ever buy me would be blue. So I still always say I think my favorite color is red, but I think I like blue the best. I don't know. Does that make any sense? I don't think it does. So if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, that's the bracelets that I'm wearing, guys. So what I have on is I have a 7 millimeter, 7.5 inch, both of these are 7.5 inch, 7 millimeter, 18 karat Daniel Jewelry Inc. So fresh and so clean, Miami Cuban, guys. And over here, I've got from Jacoji.com, the 14 karat gold tri-color rope. It's a 5 millimeter. So I've had the different sizes. Come on, bro. You see I'm on camera here. So I've had the different sizes here, guys. I've had all the way up to 10 millimeter. That's not what I wanted. I love bracelets. I don't ever take them off. Take it off. No, I don't ever take it off. I sleep with them on. And the Jacoji Curb, my 7 millimeter, was probably one of my favorite bracelets. I sold it when I upgraded. They always say upgrade because you get bigger, right? You upgraded, and that's not necessarily true. Or you upgraded purity or whatever. So I got a 10 millimeter Daniel Jewelry. Man, their work is just, isn't it amazing? I mean, it's second to none, guys. So I knew that I wanted another bracelet, and I knew that I wanted a Miami Cuban. So if you guys have seen that, I called Daniel Jewelry Inc. about 3 months ago, asked if they had. I knew that I didn't want a 10 millimeter. I want something that I can barely feel. That's not what she said. But, something that was going to be super comfortable, but also it's flashy, guys, because, that's why we love them, because, look at that shine. But not something that's going to be super flashy. And I know I say that as I got 2 bracelets on that look huge and whatever. They don't necessarily look huge, but on camera they do. And one of them's tricolor, so it's like an attention-grabbing thing. Anyways, my plan at the time was just to wear one bracelet. I've always liked wearing stack bracelets, though. I've always, when I really got into them, I wore a 5 millimeter, 14 karat Miami Cuban, and I had I think it was a 10 or 14, but I think it was a 10 millimeter flat curb. And that was the first time I ever seen a flat curb, and bought them both, wore them both forever and ever. And so I really wanted to go back and to get a Miami Cuban. I wanted one really, really bad. I decided that, okay, well, I'll get the 4 millimeter Jacoji Curb and try to get like a 7 millimeter I think that would be a really good look, 7mm Daniel Jewelry Inc. bracelet. Well, I called and they didn't have one, and I honestly, for a second, I thought, okay, it's between a 7 and an 8. Now, guys, when you do this, if you haven't gotten one before, I will recommend that you just get the 8mm, okay? Because that's probably what you're gonna want. If you're in between those two. If you already have a 7mm mark, you don't need to, I mean, you can, but the 7 to the 8 is not going to be that drastic of a jump. Well, you notice, yeah, but it's not gonna be a huge, I mean, from like a 7 to a 9. So if you already have a 7, do I recommend going to an 8? You've already got a lot of memories with that 7mm. This is going to be what do you want to do? I mean, if that's something you can't live without, that your heart's always been set on it, I get it. So I was just like, okay, do I want an 8mm? And the answer was, when I look at this and I thought about it and I went and did videos and looked back at my pictures of me wearing my bracelets and stuff, the answer is I wanted a 7. Number wise, it's just they're really special to me. This bracelet I feel like is meant to be, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But I thought a 9 would be a little too big for what I want. And so it was between that 7 and an 8. Well, I really wanted the 7, and the Jacoji Curb in 7mm is available at 14 karat, but not 18 at the moment, and it's going to probably not be available for a very long time. I really like the lobster clasp and everything because, I've talked about box locks and stuff being down here, where it kind of feels weird to me sometimes. Not the case with the 7mm, I'll get to that too. So they didn't have that, so I'm like, oh man, whatever. Well, guess what, guys? They had advertised on their IG that they had a 7mm and 18 karat gold on Daniel Jewelry Inc. And so I thought about it. I was like, do I want a 7 or do I want an 8mm? So the truth is, I got this one and I even wanted to think about it for a while. I've looked at it and everything else. I love my 7mm, guys. So it's the exact look that I want. And the fact that I pair two of them together, I think that looks really good, especially these two, the 5mm rope and the 7mm Daniel Jewelry and Cuban. The 8mm, I don't think, I know it would have been bigger, but overall the same look, okay? So it would have been pretty close to the same look. However, I think an 8mm is not gonna make it look like a 10mm or anything like that. And the 7mm, I just absolutely love how it just looks perfect. And what I mean by that, it's just, yeah, they can go out and everything else, but it's just the perfect size. And on the necklace, guys, forget about it, right? I've had the 7 and the 9mm. The 7mm is probably, just a top way to go, just because the 9 is out there, it gets big, and the 10mm is big too. So when it comes to the bracelets, I thought, should I have done 8mm? No. I wanted a 7mm. And then I thought, well, should I have done a 7mm and 22 karat? Because that's awesome. But then I thought about it and it was like, I wear mine like I just don't give a what. And so with that being said, I know that 18 karat can dent and stuff like that. 22 karat has a lot more better chance. I wouldn't be afraid of it breaking or anything like that. However, just with everything that I've got in my journey, I've had the 14 karat gold stuff, guys. I've had the 22 karat gold stuff. Most of my stuff's 18 karat gold. So with that being said, I have the 18 karat gold Figaro, and that's 3.2. And then today, I got a notification from Jacoji that my 2mm 22 karat heavy cable link and 22 inches being shipped. Now guys, that is the chain that I'm going to wear probably just with pendants. I will never wear that as a solitaire. Might wear it one day with just a fig if I'm feeling frisky. I don't know. Feeling cute, might pair up later. I don't know, whatever you guys say. But it's not something that I think I pair. Now, down the road, is there any other chains that I would possibly buy? Man, it's really hard. Somebody had just posted that Saints Gold has a 22 karat, 3.5 millimeter Jacoji curb. I'm just kidding. Saints Gold curb. And I really looked at that, guys, and I thought, man, do it. Pull the trigger on it, because you get it in 24 and chop it to 22, or even 22, and get rid of the other stuff, like even if I got rid of the fig, I don't want to, and I wouldn't, because, whatever. But just for a moment, it was like that 22, that could be your, and it was like, okay, that's super cool, but what is the one piece if I were to go to buy, if I was going to buy another chain? I'd probably get a tricolor rope. Alex. I sold Alex the one I got from Ricky, guys. It was Italian made and it shined like crazy. So if I got an Italian, or if I got another tricolored rope, I'd get it in a 2.5, because in Braden's older videos, he said he didn't want to go smaller than a 3 millimeter, because then you can't really tell the color. I found on the 2.3 millimeter, it was awesome. It showed up, it was cool, and he has the 2.5 now, but they're sold out. So that's something that I would get. And then I would pair that 22 karat gold with it. Just those two kind of together, whipping around in their wind. But that 22 karat gold, I'll wear, just solitaire, the heavy cable link with maybe the 22 karat gold Boss Cross, maybe the 18 karat gold flooded Boss Cross, the 22 karat gold Jacoji Angel. I know mini script. A lot of you guys are asking me, and this is going to answer your question right here too. Is the 2.5 millimeter rope comparable to a 2 millimeter heavy cable link? Yes, but it's just a tad bit bigger, okay? So like the 2.5 millimeter rope, whenever you have like a mini script, which has a little bitty bell, it'll go in it and it looks good. But then when you put it in the 2 millimeter, to me it looks better. So guys, that's what I'm talking about there. Most of the time we want to go up because we want that presence. Well, however, sometimes you got to go down. And that's another thing. Mark in California, he's like, should I get this 4 millimeter and should I go up to the bigger medallion? And it's like, dude, smaller looks really cool. And the 3.5 millimeter Jacoji curb, which is probably the top baby curb for that size. 7 and 5.5 are my personal favorites, but you guys see this thing flying around? But the 3.5 millimeter, it just, as for pendants and versatility, especially if you're a smaller feller or a woman, if you guys are not as big as me, by the way, I'm at 629 pounds now. Did you guys catch that? I'm kidding. I'm at 229 pounds now, not 629 pounds. Camera adds 400. So last year I weighed 45. And I put on my driver's license in May when I went to get them renewed that I weighed 229, because that was my goal. That's always kind of been my goal. When I create a player in football, that was what I do, because, running back's a great position, but, in Madden, they don't want you to be 250 and above there. So I'm actually just kind of kidding. You can make a player that is as short as can be and as fat as can be and as fast as can be. Oh, the power of Madden. But anyways, guys, let's get off of that. So I was going to make a joke about that. I was going to say that because it's a true story. I went and I saw that I hadn't hit my weight, and guess how I celebrated? I went and ate 3 Oreos and a Pop-Tart. But they weren't just any Oreos, guys. They were Halloween Oreos, so they'll get off my back. But anyways, I won't keep you too long. That is about it. Braden also said that the mini Boss Cross will maybe be shipped next week. So as for orders go, guys, I've got the bracelet, the Daniel Jewelry Inc. bracelet came in. The heavy cable link should be here maybe Saturday, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. It's coming. And then I'll get that Boss Cross, that 22 karat Boss Cross. And I am super, super happy with everything. I feel very, very blessed. But if that's what you were wondering, like I said, I got the earrings. I've got my rings. I'm wearing a 5.5 millimeter and a 3.2 millimeter. The 3.2 is a heavy or just a heavy link, 18 karat, 23 inches, guys. Had it cut, 24 inch, 5.5, 18 karat baby curb, Jacoji curb, and then on wrist, again, 7 millimeter, 18 karat. By the way, had them add a diamond button. Love it. And a 5 millimeter tri-color rope. And so that's my style. Back here and everything else, I think that I have the look that I want. It's a little different because I like kind of having that, different look with the two different bracelet styles. I don't know, it's definitely for me. So anyways, guys, that is that when it comes to that, and this is this. No, so much love to you all. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I wanted to show you guys this, and again, would I trade this bracelet? No. And I want to finish with this. I was thinking about this and asked if it was available. It wasn't. And the exact one that I wanted came up. Wonderful price. Had all the trouble in the world with Zelle getting it. Had a bunch of you guys step up to try to help me. Had a bunch of you guys send me, before this even happened, send me the post from IG saying, there's the bracelet that you should get. That's the one that you were wanting. And so now it means something very special to me. Just like this one means something, this one does too. A lot of you guys helped, whether it was showing it to me, helping me get it, sending Zelle money, doing all that other stuff. So when I look at it, it's like, wow, especially together, 14 karat gold, 5 millimeter rope, it's the journey to that 18 karat handmade, well, they're both handmade, but handmade Miami Cuban, guys. Can't go wrong. Much love, guys. Have a good night.